Now, Dubai is a city typically associated with wealth, luxury and extravagance. But what's it like to stay in the cheapest hotel in the city? Today I've booked the cheapest hotel that I could find on booking.com that wasn't a hostel. And at just £31 a night, or about $40, I think you're going to be pretty surprised at what you get for your money here. I arrived into Dubai in the early hours of the morning on an Emirates economy flight. And despite the low price tag, my hotel actually includes a free airport transfer bus that runs every 30 minutes. But because I was going to be arriving around 1:30, and because the timings weren't going to quite work out, I didn't really want to wait around, so I just grabbed a cheap Uber ride over to this hotel right here, which is the Premier Inn. That's right, a Premier Inn in Dubai. Who knew? Now, for those that are unfamiliar with Premier Inn, they're a chain of budget hotels in the UK, but they do have a small number of properties elsewhere in the world, like here in Dubai. And a lot about this place will be very familiar to anyone who stayed in a Premier Inn in the UK before, but there's also quite a few surprises. Arriving here last night, check-in was super easy, it was really quick, already prepaid online on booking.com, and I made my way straight up to the room to collapse into bed. So let me start by showing you around the room. So as we first come in, to the left we've got a mirror, shelf area, you've got your hairdryer and power outlet. There's a small clothes storage area. This is an airport hotel, so they don't have a huge amount of storage space, so fine for a short visit, but if you were staying here for longer, probably not the way to go. You've got a fridge, a safe, tea, coffee making stuff. There were a couple of bottles of water that I've been getting through as well. Over here by the TV, there's another shelf area, decent sized TV, and we have the bed. And there's also a seating area over by the window where we've got a couple of chairs. Over into the bathroom, plenty of shelf space, small sink, and a decent rainfall shower and a separate shower nozzle as well. And the shower's pretty good, had one last night when I first got in. Good pressure, good temperature, no complaints at all. And for a room that's £31 a night, it's really not bad at all, is it? The bed, I've got to say as well, really comfortable. I didn't have the best night's sleep, but I think that's just to do with the time difference. I wasn't quite ready for bed when I got here, even though it was 1:30. Obviously a 3-hour time difference from the UK. But it's a really good mattress, nice bedding, and the aircon thankfully works very well. It is about 36 degrees in Dubai today. So good functional aircon, definitely a must. So that's what the rooms are like, but what does the rest of the hotel have to offer? Let's go take a look. Initial plan while heading out here was to go find some breakfast, but because of my lack of sleep, I'd ended up just having a protein bar in bed. But I was very keen to get out in search of some caffeine. For those who do want a breakfast at the hotel, a breakfast buffet is offered, which I believe was around 60 dirhams per person, or about 12 quid. And a la carte food options were also available from the on-site pub. But rather than heading to either of these for my morning coffee, I was instead able to go to the on-site Costa Coffee. This is conveniently located right next to the entrance and opposite from reception. There's a few breakfast food items that you can also purchase from here, and your usual range of specialty coffees. Lots of nice seating space inside if you want to avoid the heat and stay in the aircon, as well as more seating just outside the hotel. But I had other ideas about where to go and enjoy this. A short ride up in the lift will take you to the rooftop, where we actually have a pool. Yep, that's right, a pool in a Premier Inn. The rooftop also gives you views of Dubai, and on a clear day you'd get a pretty good view of the Burj Khalifa. Bit hazy today though, unfortunately, but you can still see it from here. And the pool area itself, yeah, it's not the fanciest in the world, but there was a seat for me to enjoy my iced coffee, and for those looking to relax, there were plenty of lounges around, and of course the pool. But if instead you're in the mood to exercise, there is also an on-site gym. Granted, not the most extensive gym in the world, a few bits of cardio equipment, a small amount of free weights and one machine. But you know what, it's a better gym than a lot of more expensive hotels I've stayed at in the past, so I really can't knock them, especially for the price. And it did at least give me a chance to get in some cardio, before making my way back to the room. So as you've seen, the rooms are very decent and there's some great facilities, especially when you consider the cost of the place. For 31 quid a night to have a pool, a gym, and very good comfortable beds. It's really not bad going at all. So what are the downsides? Well, obviously, if you're coming to Dubai and you're on holiday, you might want something a bit more luxurious than this. Even just little things like in the shower, not having particularly good shower gel and things like that. You know, there is a pool, but it's not like a really nice pool area. I think most crucially, you are pretty far away from the action here. To get to anywhere or anything that you want to do in Dubai, you're going to have to probably get an Uber. There are public transport options as well, but they're not too convenient from here, especially in the heat. So more often than not, you are going to want to get an Uber around. Thankfully here in Dubai, Ubers are pretty convenient and relatively affordable for a really nice car as well most of the time. My journey here from the airport yesterday was £8, which given the short distance is a bit pricey, but I think there is a surcharge for the airport. But I had a look on my phone this morning to get to Dubai Mall, so you know, pretty central area, and one of the biggest attractions in Dubai. Getting there is just over £10. So obviously if you're here for multiple days and you were going back and forth a bit, that could add up. But if you are here for a brief stopover and you're just going to pop into town one day, booking this as a cheap hotel stay and then just Ubering to where you need to go will probably work out a lot cheaper than booking a nice resort. That said, Dubai does have a lot of competition for fancy hotels. And because of that, it is possible to get some great deals sometimes. So you can get a really nice place for not that much more than £100. And I think for any stay longer than a night, I would definitely be going for that option. But for a short layover like this is absolutely perfect, and I'd find it very hard to justify staying anywhere else, to be honest. And I think it also presents a really good option for budget-conscious travellers who are maybe here on a short visit. It just goes to show that Dubai can be done cheaply. If you can get a reasonable flight over, you can stay at a very decent hotel with a pool and a basic gym for £30 a night. But anyway, it's almost time for me to go now, so I'm going to go get myself showered, wake myself up a bit more, maybe grab another coffee from downstairs, and then I'm going to try out the hotel shuttle bus over to the airport, see how that works out. And on my way down to reception, I did notice another nice feature that they actually have on every floor, and that is a little observation area where you can look out towards the airport. A great spot for av geeks to watch the planes take off and land, and spotting a few that are parked up. Checkout was nice and easy, just needed to hand over the keys and that was all done. Unfortunately, I did take my time getting down there and I'd actually missed the shuttle bus. And rather than wait around for another half hour, I decided the easiest thing would just be to order an Uber. Thankfully, as I mentioned before, it's always really quick and easy to get Ubers in Dubai. I've never had an issue with it before. And because of how close this hotel is to the airport, it's also a really cheap ride over. It cost me about £8 to get to the hotel the night before, but my ride over to Dubai Airport today was only £4. I was making my way to the airport for a premium economy flight with Emirates, and if you want to see what that experience is like, watch this video next.